let's try to figure this out. What is going to be my November TBR? We'll figure it out. Now, before we get into this video, please like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. It definitely goes a long way with helping the channel out, and it's greatly appreciated. So, with that being said, let's get into picking these books. A little something that I want to start doing is doing a monthly TBR. And generally, I want to pick an independent DC and Marvel book for each month. I generally might not include omnibuses just because, man, they're hefty. And for me, it would be kind of hard to read an entire omnibus on a structured time frame, uh, to read an entire omnibus while reading other things. So I might not include omnibuses too much. I'll never say never, but that's kind of what I'm thinking going forward with these monthly TBR books that I want to do for this. So yeah. Now, full disclaimer: this month I already have pretty much decided my independent book because my wife and we have a monthly, well, not a monthly, it's kind of like we have a scratch card that we use while, for me, reading comics as well as reading, novels. um it just helps us choose what we're going to read next without just staring at the bookshelf forever and not really coming up with something to read. So it helps us. So anyway, I already scratched uh, that card for my next book, and well, you'll see what it is here in a minute. Um, so the independent book has already been predetermined. Now the Marvel and DC books, uh, kind of up in the air, and I don't know. We'll see what I come up with. So let's just do it. All right. Full disclosure: the independent book that I'm going to read is already have it's already been decided, because my wife and we have a TBR scratch off card that we use, and to kind of help decide for us. So I actually scratched off Once in Future. So book one of Once in Future, that's going to be my independent read for November. Hey buddy. Hey buddy. I need my chair. Can I have my chair? I don't think he's going to let me have my chair. Oh yeah, lucky. Yeah, buddy. Oh, there goes my chair. This is pretty much my Marvel section. The omnibuses on the top, the trades, and a few hardcovers. Actually, the hardcovers right here are all from Brazil, so they're all in Portuguese. And it's funny because their spines are pretty much opposite, like upside down compared to ours. See? You read from bottom to top, and then ours are top to bottom. But yeah, a little interesting, I thought. So anyway, so my Marvel. Now, I don't want to dive into an omnibus. I mean, I do, but I'm going to leave that off the TBR. So what I'm kind of looking at is the trades and whatnot that I have. And some of them I have read. Some of them I have read, and some of them I haven't. So I kind of want to revisit some things, but I'm not sure. Like Gods would be fun to revisit. I feel like all of the Ultimate, universe, the current Ultimate Universe stuff that I have right here, and then the current X-Men trades or that I have right now. But I kind of am leaning towards these premiere. What are these premiere editions? So I'm kind of really. So believe it or not, I have not read Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I have not read that before. Daredevil, I have read some of it. I have not. It's been a while. So that, and I just picked up Wolverine, Old Man Logan. I mean, all of these are classics. And then, of course, Deadpool Samurai, volumes 1, 2, and 3, the mangas, Spider Man Fake Red manga. So I don't know. I don't know. A lot of Deadpool stuff. A lot of Deadpool stuff. So what I'm kind of leaning towards is actually is Daredevil, Born Again, Frank Miller. I'm feeling classic, feeling really, really classic. So I think that's going to be my Marvel read for November. He really needs to be more like her. Look at her. Nikki is relaxed. I just want my seat. I'm just trying to make a video. I love these guys though. Well, her, she's the old one. All right, so my DC, which I have a lot more DC than Marvel. So yeah, Deceased, classic, probably one of my favorite all-time stories. Period. So I mean, I could read that at any time and be happy with that. You know, kind of a nostalgic mood, like I said with Daredevil. So you know, Superman Triangle era would always be great. Then got all this Batman stuff because Batman's the man, right? And you know what's crazy? Night Optimus coming around that corner, man. He's about to blast somebody. I got the Nightwing omnibus, but somehow I got sent two. I got the first one, I got this one, and a few days later I got another one that came in the mail. I'm like, what? So I still have this wrapped in plastic. So this might be available, just a heads up. So yeah, so anyway, I also have the only two absolute editions that I have is Batman Hush and Absolute Batman, or I mean, I'm sorry, Absolute Superman Red Sun. So that could definitely be an option also, the Superman Red Sun. And man, I just have tons of stuff for DC. Some deluxe hardcovers right here. Deadpool still lost. Maybe he's still living in that DC Marvel crossover, I guess. But then I got some DC Finest stuff with some DC Compacts. I still need to get that Batman, the most recent Batman DC Finest. Then I got these DC trades as well. Oh, Batman Hush in Portuguese. Check that out. Pretty cool. Batman Hush from Brazil. How about that? But yeah. So I have these to choose from as far as trades, hardcovers, deluxe hardcovers, or one of these absolute editions, which probably, if I did go with this route, it would be the Superman Red Sun. So I'm actually leaning towards Red Sun and Dark Knights of Steel, actually, because I have that deluxe edition. I just have not read it yet. So, you know what though? This is just a beautiful book that I feel like should be read sooner than later. So, this is going to be my DC read for November. Okay, so I feel like I chose some good books, right? And I was really up in the air with DC between Absolute Superman, Red Sun, and Dark Knights of Steel because I haven't read that yet. I waited forever for that deluxe edition to come out, and I really want to read that. And I might make that for December for my DC book. We'll see. I don't know, but that's just getting too far ahead. But Absolute Superman Red Sun. I'm going to dive into this. This shouldn't take long at all to read, actually, because it's only like 3 issues total. But I really want to. What I love about these Absolute books is the bonus stuff that comes in it. You know, you get a lot of good stuff with that. So I really want to kind of dive into that as well. Um, yeah, so beautiful book, man. Mark Millar, man, he does some really good stuff. I'm a fan of his. So yeah, so Absolute Red Sun. Can't wait. Can't wait to dive into that. My Marvel pick, I really am excited. Daredevil Born Again. I mean, first of all, these Marvel Premiere collections are freaking amazing. It's funny because when Marvel first announced these Premiere collections, I was like, $15, because I guess I'm assuming they're supposed to compete with the compact DC compact books. They're only $10, whatever. Great price point. So $15. I was like, that's kind of ridiculous. Marvel being Marvel, the cash cow, all that stuff. But once I found and seen that these are not just a story, like the DC Compacts, just a story, but you get bonus stuff, just like if you were to buy the hardcover or whatever, like you get bonus material with this. So I'm like, okay, I'm cool. I'm cool with the $15 thing for this. So it's not a bad deal. So anyway, Daredevil Born Again by Frank Miller, art by David Mazzucchelli. I mean, absolute classic, right? I mean, I love those 80s books, you know? So this is a very foundational book too. So Frank Miller, I'm thinking Absolute Superman. Yeah. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to this. I can't wait to get into that. So this is my Marvel book to read, my Marvel TBR. So my independent book that was already predetermined before I made this video. Once in Future. Man, book one, by the way, by Kieran Gillen and Dan Mora on art. One of, I guess, Dan Mora's earlier projects that he worked on. Now, I will say, if I'm able to, which I feel like I should, because the Absolute Red Sun, like I said, it's only 3 issues. The bonus material, I feel like I can go through that real quick. But if I have time before the end of the month, and I get through this and all my books, I'm gonna probably dive into book 2. Yeah. So what's funny is what made me decide to get this, aside from the fact that it's Dan Mora on the art and Kieran Gillen writing, when I was down in Brazil with my wife, was like last year maybe, we went to a comic book shop down there, and the name of the comic book shop is Comics Shop, Comix Shop, in Sao Paulo, Brazil. But when we were in there, we were talking to one of the guys that works there, and he absolutely was crazy over this book. And I'm like, okay, I've heard good things about it beforehand, but I was like, if I get to it, I get to it. But talking to him really made me want this book. So, yeah. And I'm finally going to get into it. Finally. So, yeah, Once in Future, book 1. Yeah, my independent book for November. So, there you have it. Those are my November TBR books. I don't know. What do you think? Have you guys read these? Please, if you have read them, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought with no spoilers, please. No spoilers on these books. But if you read them, let me know what you thought of them, man. Like, give me your thoughts and opinions. And did you enjoy them or did you not? So yeah. That being said, man, I'm excited. And I'm gonna start thinking ahead for December also. So we'll see. We'll see when that time comes. But with that being said, catch you guys in the next one.